ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ। ਸਿੱਖ ਚੈਨਲ ਟੀਮ ਪਹੁੰਚੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਪੈਨਾਮਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਪੈਨਾਮਾ ਕਨਾਲ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਕੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਫੀ ਸੁਣਿਆ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗਾਂ ਤੋਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗਾਂ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ। 1903 ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਈ, ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ 'ਚੋਂ ਕਈ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਆਏ ਸੇ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ, ਬਹੁਤ ਹਾਰਡ ਲੇਬਰ ਕੀਤਾ
ਜੀ। 1903 ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਕਨਾਲ। 1890 'ਚ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ ਬਾਏ ਫਰਨੈਂਡ ਲੈਸੈਪ, ਜਦੋਂ ਫਰੈਂਚ ਨੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ। ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਵੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵੀਰ ਆਏ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। 1903 ਵੀ ਜਦੋਂ US ਗਵਰਨਮੈਂਟ ਨੇ ਓਵਰਟੇਕ ਕੀਤਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਐਂਡ ਕਨਾਲ 'ਚ ਫਿਨਿਸ਼ 1913 'ਚ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀ। ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀਅਤ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਭਾਜੀ ਰਤਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਸੀ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ। ਆਪਣੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪੈਨਾਮਾ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੇ ਜਿਹਨੂੰ ਅੱਜ ਸਕੀਨ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮੁਲਕ ਤਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਤਾ, ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ। ਸ਼ਿਪਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਆਏ ਸੇ, ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ, ਹੱਥੀਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ। ਹੱਥਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਹੈਂਡ ਲੇਬਰ, ਮਸ਼ੀਨਰੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਘੱਟ ਸੀ। ਇਜ਼ ਵੈਰੀ ਹੈਵੀ ਵਰਕ, ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕੀਤੀ। ਐਂਡ ਉਸ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਿਲੇ ਸੀ, ਜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਪੜਦਾਦੇ ਆਏ ਸੇ, ਉਹਨੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪ ਡਿਗਿੰਗ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ। ਰਤਨ ਭਾਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਹੁਣ ਦੱਸੋ ਕਨਾਲ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣੀ, ਕੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸਿਸਟਮ ਚੱਲਦੀਆਂ, ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ਿਪਾਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਸ਼ਿਪਾਂ ਲੰਘਦੀਆਂ।
ਜੀ, ਇਹ ਕਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ 'ਚ ਸਟੀਮ ਇੰਜਨ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਸੀ, ਸਭ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਸੀ। ਮੈਨੂਅਲ ਲੇਬਰ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਸੀ। ਤਾਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਲੋਕ ਤਾਂ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲੀ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਪ੍ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਸਟਰੋਂਗ ਸਰੀਰ ਦੇ। ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਿਕਨੈਸ ਕੱਟ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਸੀ। ਇੱਥੇ ਯੈਲੋ ਫੀਵਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ। ਤਾਂ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਲੋਕ ਆ, ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਲੋਕ ਆ, ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਥੋੜ੍ਹੀ ਟੋਲਰੈਂਟ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਇੰਡੀਅਨਸ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਪ੍ਰੈਫਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੰਮ ਲਈ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ, ਬਹੁਤ ਬਹੁਤ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ ਰਤਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ। ਆਓ ਜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਨਾਲ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਿੱਖ ਬਜ਼ੁਰਗਾਂ ਨੇ ਆਪ ਹੱਥੀਂ ਆ ਕੇ ਬਣਾਈ ਸੀ।
ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਆਓ ਮੇਰੇ ਨਾਲ। ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਦਿਖਾਉਂਦਾ ਮੇਰਾ ਫੋਰੈਸਟ ਲੌਕ। Sat Sri Akal, Ratan Singh Daliwal for Sikh channel, live from Panama Canal in Panama City, Panama. ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਸਮਝਾਉਣ ਲੱਗਾ ਕਿ ਪੈਨਾਮਾ ਕਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਜੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਸ਼ਿਪਸ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਐਟਲਾਂਟਿਕ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਟਲਾਂਟਿਕ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਆਪਣਾ, ਉਹ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਉੱਚਾ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਥੋੜ੍ਹਾ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਆ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਪਨਾਮੇ 'ਚ 3 ਲੌਕਸ ਆ। ਲੌਕਸ ਲਿਫਟ ਵਾਂਗਰ ਆ। ਲੌਕਸ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ, ਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਚਾ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿ ਨੀਵਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਵਲਸ ਦੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਆ ਹਾਈਟ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗਲੀ। ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਲੌਕ 'ਚ ਵੜ ਰਿਹਾ। ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਲੈਵਲ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਲੌਕ ਦਾ ਲੈਵਲ ਬਰਾਬਰ ਆ। ਜਿਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੜੂਗੀ ਉਹ ਲੌਕ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਣੀ ਹੈ। ਲੌਕ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੰਪਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਪਾਣੀ ਦਾ ਲੈਵਲ ਥੱਲੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ, ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਲੈਵਲ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਕ੍ਰੋਸ ਕਰ ਸਕੇ। ਤਾਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਥੱਲੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ, ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੇ ਨਵਾਂ ਲੈਵਲ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਲੌਕ ਆ ਕ੍ਰੋਸ ਕਰਨਾ। ਪੈਨਾਮਾ ਕਨਾਲ 'ਚ 3 ਲੌਕਸ ਆ। ਐਟਲਾਂਟਿਕ ਤੋਂ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੈਗਾ ਗਾਤੂਨ, the first lock, then Pedro Miguel, and currently we are the Miraflores lock in the Pacific side. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੈਫਟ ਸਾਈਡ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਆ ਉਹ ਥੱਲੇ ਲੈਵਲ ਹੁਣ ਸੈਕੰਡ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਸੀ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ। ਅੱਗੇ ਹੁਣ ਲੋਅਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਚੁੱਕਾ। ਪਾਣੀ ਕੱਢਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲੈਵਲ 'ਚ ਹੋਵੇ। ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋ ਪਿੱਛੇ, ਅੱਗੇ ਇਸ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ ਸੀਗਾ, ਹਾਇਰ ਲੈਵਲ ਤੇ। ਲੌਕਸ ਇੱਕ ਲਿਫਟ ਆ, ਪਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਪੰਪ ਕਰਕੇ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੂੰ ਉੱਪਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਆ, ਜੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਨੂੰ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੂੰ ਥੱਲੇ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਲੌਕ ਦੇ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ, ਇਹ ਨਵੇਂ ਲੌਕਸ ਆ। ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਪੋਸਟ ਪੈਨਾਮੈਕਸ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਨਵੇਂ ਲੌਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਚੌੜੇ ਤਾਂ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੰਮੇ ਸ਼ਿਪਸ ਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੇ। ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਨਵੀਂ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਆ। ਟਗ ਬੋਟ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਲ ਕਰਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਪੁਸ਼ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੌਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੜਨਾ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰੇਲ ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਲੌਕ ਕਰਕੇ ਬੰਨ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਕਨਾਲ ਤੋਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੌਕਸ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਕਰਨਾ। ਇੱਕ ਟਾਈਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੋ ਸ਼ਿਪਾਂ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀਆਂ, ਇੱਕ ਲੈਫਟ ਸਾਈਡ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਈਟ ਸਾਈਡ 'ਚ।
We remind all our visitors, drinks and food is not allowed inside the theater. Thank you very much.
ਦੇਖਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਟਗਬੋਟ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਟਗਬੋਟ ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜੇ ਨੂੰ ਲੈਫਟ ਨੂੰ ਪੁਸ਼ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਐਨ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਆਵੇ। ਇਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਇੰਜਨ ਪਾਵਰ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੀ ਇੰਜਨ ਪਾਵਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਦੀ, ਸਿਰਫ ਟਗਬੋਟਸ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਮਿਊਲਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਲੋਕੋਮੋਟਿਵਸ ਆ ਉਹ ਖਿੱਚਦੇ ਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਪਨਾਮਾ ਕਨਾਲ 'ਚ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੜਦਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਦਾ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੀ ਕੰਟਰੋਲ ਪਨਾਮੇਨੀਅਨ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਣੀ ਪੈਂਦੀ ਆ। ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਕਨਾਲ ਦਾ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਚੜ੍ਹ ਕੇ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੂੰ ਚਲਾਉਂਦਾ। ਸਿਰਫ ਉਹ ਚਲਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਮਾਰਜਨਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਲੌਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਫੀ ਛੋਟੇ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਉਹ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲਾਈਜ਼ਡ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਕੈਪਟਨਸ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ। ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਓਸ਼ਨ ਤੋਂ ਨਿਕਲਦੀ ਆ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਆ ਕਨਾਲ ਦਾ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਉਤਰ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਬੋਟ ਦੇ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਨੂੰ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਟ੍ਰਾਂਸਫਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਬੋਟ ਦਾ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਨੂੰ ਲਿਜਾ ਸਕਦਾ। ਪਿੱਛੇ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਲੌਕਸ ਦੇ ਦਰ ਖੁੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਲੌਕ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੜੇ। ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮਾੜੇ ਇਹ 2 ਇੰਚਸ ਦੇ ਲੌਕਸ ਦਿਸਦੇ ਆ, ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ 22 ਮੀਟਰਸ ਹਾਈ ਲੌਕਸ ਆ, ਪਰ ਪਾਣੀ ਭਰ ਕੇ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਿਰਫ ਉੱਪਰ ਦੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਬਸ ਦਿਸਦੀ ਹੈ। ਸ਼ਿਪ ਹੁਣ ਬੜੀ ਆ ਲੈਫਟ ਲੌਕ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਕਿ ਲੌਕ ਬੰਦ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਇੱਕਦਮ ਲੌਕ ਬੰਦ ਹੋਊਗਾ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਪੰਪ ਕਰਕੇ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਲੈਵਲ ਨੂੰ ਥੱਲੇ ਕਰਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਦੂਜੀ ਲੈਵਲ ਨਾ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਲੈਵਲ ਦੂਜੀ ਲੈਵਲ ਨਾ ਮਿਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਅੱਗੇ ਮੋਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਜਾ ਸਕੇ। ਇੱਕ ਇੰਟਰਸਟਿੰਗ ਫੈਕਟ, ਪਨਾਮੇ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਿਪਿੰਗ ਲਾਈਨ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਫਲੈਗਸ ਆ, ਮਤਲਬ ਕਿ ਬੋਟਸ ਦੇ ਫਲੈਗ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਫਲੀਟ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਕਿ ਦੂਜੀ ਪਨਾਮੇ ਦੀ ਆ। ਕਿਉਂ? ਇੱਕ ਈਜ਼ੀ ਗੱਲ ਆ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਿਪਸ ਪਨਾਮੇ ਦੀ ਫਲੈਗ ਨਾ ਰਜਿਸਟਰ ਹੋਵੇ, ਮਤਲਬ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਪਨਾਮਾ ਨੂੰ ਕ੍ਰਾਸ ਕਰਨਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਫੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਘੱਟ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ। ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਕਰਕੇ ਪਨਾਮੇ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਿਪਿੰਗ ਫਲੀਟ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਸਿਵਲ ਕਮਰਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਸ਼ਿਪਿੰਗ ਫਲੀਟ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਕਿ ਦੂਜੀ ਹੈ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ। ਪਨਾਮਾ ਤਾਂ ਲਾਇਬੇਰੀਆ ਦੋਨੋਂ ਇਹ ਮੁਲਕ ਆ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸ਼ਿਪਿੰਗ ਫਲੀਟਸ ਦੇ ਨੰਬਰ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਨੰਬਰ ਹਾਈ ਆ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪਿਛਲੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ, ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਾਰਗੋ ਟ੍ਰੇਨ ਐਟਲਾਂਟਿਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੋਰਟ ਆ ਮਾਨਸਾਨੀਓ ਕੋਕੋਸੋਲੋ, ਉੱਥੋਂ ਕੰਟੇਨਰਸ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਪੈਸੀਫਿਕ ਪੋਰਟ 'ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਇੱਥੇ ਸ਼ਿਪ ਲੋਡ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਫਿਰ ਹੋਰ ਪਾਸੇ ਜਾਣਾ, ਚੀਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਕਿ ਏਸ਼ੀਆ ਪਾਸੇ ਲੈ ਜਾਣਾ ਕਿ US ਵੈਸਟ ਕੋਸਟ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਾ।
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. The Sikh Channel team is in Panama. The Sikh Channel team has been in Panama for a few days. We've met various members of the community, and we've also met descendants of Sikh heritage, whose grandfathers or great-grandfathers were from the Sikh heritage, Sikh background, who came here in the 1920s and 1930s. So I'm very pleased to be joined by Nihal Singh. Nihal, welcome to Sikh Channel.
Thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Nihal, that's a very good Punjabi Sikh name, and obviously Singh is very much part of the Sikh faith and a Sikh name. Can you tell us about your background, and perhaps we'll start with your grandfather.
Yeah, my grandfather, he came to Panama probably around 1930 or late 30s, and he met my grandmother, who was from Italian descent, and my dad was born out of that marriage, and he left Panama to deal with some family issues back in India, back in Punjab, about in 1952, more or less, when my dad was about 7. And then my dad was raised by my grandmother, but with a lot of contact or still within some part of the Indian community here in Panama.
And your grandfather's name was Amar Singh Man.
Correct, he was Amar Singh Man, yeah.
And so you have a Sikh heritage, a Sikh background, and then your father was raised here as a Catholic by your grandmother, who was an Italian Catholic.
Correct, exactly. He was raised Catholic. He passed away about 15 years ago, more or less. And even though he was raised Catholic, he still he was very identified with the community. He was the speaker in to call it something, or the master of ceremonies in a couple of weddings of big important families here. He still kept a lot of pretty much during the dinner event, the party or something. But still, he was still very, very much in touch. He was part of the Panamanian Indian Association for a while, and we still kept, like I said, a little bit of kept in touch with the customs and a lot of the food and the culture in general. We had a lot of friends that were from the community, and also we were always not like but let's say we're always invited to celebrations like Diwali and stuff like that in the temple here with the Indian embassy and everything. So we kept somewhat close to the culture and the community.
You don't speak Punjabi yourself. Your father would have spoken Punjabi, as did your grandfather. And how do you feel about that? Do you wish you had learned Punjabi?
I've been trying to learn, actually. I'm married to a Sikh woman, to my wife, who's second generation Sikh here in Panama. We married at the temple, and pretty much I had to have a translator next to me telling me what to do and what they were saying, and she taught me like little things. Like basically, the first thing she taught me, I'm not even if I'm saying this right. She taught me the phrase "Metenu pyar bahut karda," and she told me just say that. And when I'm saying "I love you very much," I'm like, oh, okay. So stuff like that. I've been learning bits and pieces because my mother-in-law, she does speak. She's from India. She came from India to marry my father-in-law. And she speaks obviously fluently in Indian, and my son speaks a little bit more than I do. It's still learning. He's only 9, and I've been trying to learn a little bit more. I've been looking for stuff on the web and trying to learn, at least to understand when sometimes my mother-in-law starts to speak, when fast or something, or has a thought or anything. She starts speaking in Punjabi, which is her first language, right? So, and I'm trying to learn to understand, maybe not being fluently speaking, but at least a little bit more understanding of the language as part of my roots and culture.
And in terms of your father's family, have you got any connection to any branch of your father's family in India, in the Punjab?
Well, my dad was the only child here, so pretty much that was it here. But one day, I think this is an interesting story. We put in our grandfather's name in Google, and some photos came out, about 2 or 3 hits came out, and then one of those, the second hit, was a webpage about immigration, and there was a photo where a group of men, and my brother and I thought that might be our grandfather, and we started digging into it, and it was my grandfather. And the person that did the webpage had a close relation, let's say, to the person who provided the photo, which was his wife's sister-in-law, who was married to the man's son, and then that was actually an uncle of mine, and he told us I had the chance to talk to him for some time, or for a little while, and he told me that my grandfather told them about my dad that was here in Panama, and he had another family here and everything, and we connected a little bit, but again, we didn't have the chance to really connect deeply, and I always wanted to do that, and he was living in California, and he told me about 2 brothers and sisters that he had in Punjab, and I wanted to reach out, and I've never been to India actually, so that was something that it's been on my plans, but we really haven't had the chance to go and look for them and meet them, and also meet my wife's family, who she has a lot of family over there still, uncles and aunts, and her grandmother still lives in India. So it's an interesting opportunity to connect with them and get a little bit more information and go deeper into my roots, which is something that I think I'm a bit lacking in, because like I said, I was raised as my father is Catholic.
What do you know about the Sikh faith? What is your understanding of the Sikh religion?
Well, pretty much from everything I've looked into in books and stuff, it's that it's a circle of life. It's a circle of beginnings and ends, or reincarnations, and it's something that leads you to, or the main belief is that you should lead a good life, be kind to everybody. That I found interesting the stuff I found about the names, which is why a lot of people ask when you live in Panama, if you know somebody else named Singh, is that a relative, is that a cousin? And it's not, because it's not actually a last name, and I was wondering about all the stuff and learned some of it, that it's kind of like a, I don't know if I'm saying it right, kind of like a designation to know, since the names can be both for boys and girls, that Singh is a man of the Sikh religion or beliefs, and I think it's Kaur, right? It's a woman of the Sikh faith, and if you look into the phone book here, you're gonna see a whole bunch of Singh Kaur people names, and everybody looks at them as the father's and then the mother's last name, and thinks that everybody's related, which we are not, you know? But other than that, I do go to the temple sometimes for example, both my sons, they're being raised, which I want to do something a little bit more straightforward, more I don't know how to say it, but that would be their main religion. Instead of a baptism, we did the whole thing to present them at the temple, both of them, and we do go at least, I think, like once a month. My wife's grandmother, she does a ceremony for I don't know if it's prayers for the family and stuff, and she goes every Sunday. I mean, like most seniors, they have their stronger beliefs, and we as younger people need to work on that. I think in general, not only in Sikh religion, but in any religion, I think that everybody has put or made themselves not so connected to their religion, whichever that is. I feel a little bit more connected, and I tend to want to go more to the Sikh temple than to the Catholic church. So I'm trying to learn a little bit more about that. I do sometimes feel like a little bit there's a void, let's say, that I need something to believe in, really. No, not just, oh yeah, I know that there's a God and there's Jesus and there's this and that, but something that really feels right to me, and I've been gravitating towards Sikhism. It's kind of hard here because the whole ceremony is it's in Punjabi, so I don't understand any of it. So I've been reading and looking for I even looked for if there was some website where they would have like the prayers in English, just to understand exactly what was being said and what was the whole process or the whole belief or something. I did get married within the Sikh belief in the ceremony. I have friends that are from the Sikh religion that have had both ceremonies in that have married a Catholic woman or something, and then or vice versa, and they had both ceremonies, the Catholic and the Sikh, and everybody wanted to know if I wanted to marry Catholic, and I really didn't care to say something. I don't want it to sound bad, but it was something that wasn't important to me. I was happier with marrying within my wife's beliefs and what she wanted, and I think it's a more inclusive, more fun, more it feels I think I felt it was a little bit more I don't know how to say it, but it felt better than any other wedding I've been at. The whole process of it, the whole ceremony, everything, I think it makes you think a little bit more or about marriage and the promises you make within the whole ceremony. I mean, that's something that it didn't feel like empty words, let's say. So I'm trying to connect a little bit, just not to ramble anymore, but to connect with the religion more.
That's tremendous. You identify strongly with the Sikh faith, not least because your grandfather was from a Sikh background, and there's a lot of debate at the moment about mixed marriages, interfaith marriages. Do they work? Are they good for the Sikh community? And you are a product of a mixed community marriage, your grandparents. Do you think your faith was diluted, your Sikh faith has been diluted as a result?
I don't want to say it was diluted, because like I said, my dad was raised by my grandmother at first as a single woman, or because like we said, my grandfather couldn't make it back to Panama, and then she remarried. She remarried to an Italian, so they were both Catholic. So they raised my dad, but still, my grandmother, I think it was very, very, let's say, smart, or she was very good to my father in keeping him connected to both sides, to both religions. Even though he was baptized and everything within the Catholic faith, she still kept in touch and within reach, and he told me once that he had a lot of uncles or friends from the family that would go over to the house and visit him and play with him, that were my grandfather's friends, even though my grandfather left when he was only 7, and he kept in touch with all these people, and I think it's also something that you have to take into account, that they were not we're talking about 1950 something, they were not shunned or anything. They were embraced as part of the community still, because he was son of a Sikh man, and the whole community still kept them close. So I maybe a little bit diluted because I didn't get a chance to learn a lot more or be more part of it, because again, my dad married then a Catholic woman, so maybe I got the diluted part, I guess, rather than my dad. But we, like I said, he still kept us within the community. He knew how to cook Indian food. We went to activities within the Indian embassy here with the Indian community association. We have still good friends that are from the Indian culture in general, not only Sikhs, but from all everybody that's here actually. So maybe if we could have been a little bit more, maybe I should have learned, or he didn't speak Punjabi actually, because he was too little when my grandfather left. So I wish we could have learned more and be a little bit more into that, but it's not something that I see that it had nothing to do that with the fact that he was or I am within a mixed marriage here. I think that the community here is very open to those types of situations. I think there's quite a few mixed marriages here within the Sikh and the Indian community, and everybody just has embraced that without, like I said, keeping them apart or shunning everybody or anything. They're just part of the community still.
Grandfather was Amar Singh Man from the Punjab, and you've still got a lot of Sikh spirit and passion for your heritage and your Sikh faith inside you, and we want to try and help you reconnect with that. What is your message to the Sikh community? The Sikh channel broadcasts across the world. Many people will be watching this in the Sikh world. What's your message to the Sikh community worldwide?
First, we would love to have you all here and visit Panama. Like you said, it's a very beautiful country, and we welcome everybody. And I would gladly welcome you so I can learn more about my roots. And other than that, it's up to us up to us second and third generations to keep the customs, the culture living, let's say, and we should do our best to do that and get the word out and spread our culture and within ourselves, and learn more. Get a book, go online, learn about your roots. Don't let things go away. Let's say I'm not finding the right words, but don't let things get lost within your roots, your culture. Embrace that culture. Be proud of it, and always be proud with who and what you are. Thanks.
That's a tremendous message from Nihal Singh in Panama. Thank you very much. Despite not having the opportunity to learn Punjabi or connect with your Sikh faith, you've got a lot of Sikh passion. Now that your wife is of a Sikh background, from a Sikh family, it's a great opportunity for you to reconnect. And here at Sikh Channel, we'll certainly do what we can to assist with any assistance that you need, with the knowledge and interest that you want to take in the Sikh faith. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Again, thank you very much for contacting me and giving me the opportunity to talk. I know I talk a bit much, but I'm very excited about the opportunity and meeting other Sikhs from the world.
Thank you very much, Nihal, and we hope to keep in touch with you. Thank you very much. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.